Hey there. Who is ready for our Wild Wednesday? I know we're mostly through it, but there seem to have been so many holdups on me lately. Like, feels like I would say emotional blockages, which is odd. I'm a very feelings-based person, but not very emotional. I have like 0.1 degree of water in my chart. Yeah. Which is why I love living by the water. It provides that balance. And usually I'm going out there, but there's been this kind of like, well, very much the nodes resolving themselves, feeling like you're chasing your tail, like you're here when you should be there and there when you should be here, and feel the uprising energy, and then it flattens out. It's like, what is going on? Let's get to the truth of the situation, then we're going to find out a bit of spirit here. Let's start with spirit, the Earth Keeper. Okay, talking about times and systems and how to succeed, flourish, thrive, whichever word resonates with you here on Earth. Here on Earth. Here on Earth. She's talking about we have friends. We've got to go back to the beginning to get our own foundation and understanding. So with that, let's get into a little bit of the oracle. Our nature, look at that. What a perfect place to begin. Number 7, the return to oneself. After that follows the 8, the limnus gate, where we're in that divine connection with oneself, and what we sow, we also reap from our intention, okay? Not just from something outside of ourselves that we're not so aware of. Ooh, Lorelai be upside down. Girl, what is going on here? And there's another one as I'm looking, the gift is upside down. Lorelai is the one who's just so much bigger than life itself, but is fishing for connection, a human connection, a human element here on Earth. Y'all, I'm talking to you about it. I haven't had this deck out in a minute, and these were the things left. They're talking about kind of like burrs in your saddle or thorns in your side. They're kind of, I'm feeling like the eyes of a horse, like they're set out on the sides, but being that we're humans here on Earth, our eyes are set on the front to be able to see this way and then use our periphery. Okay, so they're wanting to focus on our periphery, aka the big picture. So, okay, Earth Keeper, help us with this big picture of our gift. And for one, I mean, it's us, that we are larger than life itself. The gift of connection. Let's just go into this and see what's here. The giveaway. The gift and the give. The gift and the giver. I wonder if what they're meaning to give to you, you keep giving away. And it's meant to be received, enjoyed, and imbibed in first, so that you speak from experience. This can be ice cream, y'all. Not just all the vaporous mind of knowledge and things like that. Personal experience of how, yeah, she looking down like this now, like, she's looking down like the mother of death, De La Muerte. I don't know. She started showing up the other day. It's like the one who gives birth to the graveyard. And she's looking down like, told you. It's like the world of endings, false endings. False endings. Well, because it doesn't go in and take root in you first. It's like things that are cut off. It's beautiful to look at, like cut flowers, but they fade and die, and nothing else comes of it. They don't just start sprouting and springing forth new unless they're connected to the earth. Okay, thank you, Earth Keeper. So let's get a Mary L on this. Ooh, 9 of Swords. I love it. It's looking like that whole big world coming on in. It is whatever you see it to be. And they're saying it doesn't have to be the black or the white, the this or that. Spirit is coming in with a whole new perspective, the life-giving, the source. Say you were born forward from the sun. Look at the power of that wand in your hand. Say that you're just a pure, perfect body of light, 444. And here it's saying home partnership required. Separation is up under it, cutting off. It's like cutting off your future and also going about things in the direction that you think you want to go. That they're wanting you to develop, aka expand. Why do they keep, whoever is showing up here today saying, aka, I love you. It's been fun. It's been real. But they're talking about dimensionally. Dimensionally, that contains your satisfaction. That it's like, well, when a lot of people got separated because of whatever was going around the world, and they wanted to be able to physically hug their loved ones, not just virtually hug them. Just like giving somebody a legit card as opposed to a virtual one, which isn't illegitimate. It just doesn't, you can't take it in and satisfy it the same way. Talking about the physical, the earthen plane, the tactile, one of the states of love, which is physical touch. We have temperance. Moving the water with your hands, touching the cosmos. How do we touch the unseen? Lorelei. How do we touch the unseen? There's a card sitting down and it says gently. Ask. Ask. Ask, seek, knock. Ask. And they're talking about the door, or like this case, the vault. It's been locked, is right here. Ask your heart what it is you truly desire. And now you need to know this is Earthkeeper talking to you. So that's why it's a wild Wednesday. I'm like, I'm going to get out the deck that scares me. Why does it scare me? Y'all, 2020, I got this deck. I opened it up. I laid out this, we could say it's an elaborate spread, but it was really like a game board, like a movement of pieces. And anyways, it ended with a coyote. And I just started to cry because I'm like, I don't know how to read cards. I would just read energy from my mind and know what was happening. And I'm looking at this and I just began to cry. And I'm like telling my friend, I said, I don't know what it is that's making me cry. And of course, the next day I was attacked by an attack dog that somebody was transporting them, decided to take them off to the public beach and walk with them. And then that started this huge ripple of events that led into the big C that everybody else knows about now. But Earthkeeper is talking about this physical earthenness, this physical expression. So Lorelei, okay, get us back on track here, Lorelei, and this temperance about speaking, asking, seeking, knocking. And it's talking about the flow. Look at this. This is wild because temperance is right under here, playing with the water in the hand, playing with the water in the hand. Talk about moving the waters of the mind. Almost like, I guess, people on dating things where they, I don't know which way they scroll, but like swiping, you know, scrolling through, like, oh, yeah, that's making me want to sneeze, making my nose want to itch. The power is between the hands. Touching. How do we touch heaven? And she's saying by touching earth. You see that? What y'all are speaking all in sorts of mystery here. All sorts of mystery here. And I see the gift leaning in. Leaning in with that perfect partnership of knowing as you are fully known. Not just this temporary state that you've been in. See, let's look at her here. See the temporary state. Very much in the energy of this. But now the this fully coming in. Getting to experience what it is you've only experienced inside of you, but being able to partake of it outside of you physically, to touch, taste, see, and smell. It's kind of like a recipe, right? You get out those ingredients and you know the formula and you work with it, and out comes this experience that you get to imbibe in, you get to take in, which is very much this Taurus North Node and Scorpio South Node, because they're talking about being the Death Star, or words, our creatorship through words, okay? That we will taste what we speak, all right? So they're wanting us at, that's what they're saying, the gift, the white box. Oh, what's it in your white box, the luminous warrior? And they're saying it's not the white box, it is the light box. See the light box at the back of his head? This is you knowing the unknowable. No, knowing the unknown. Now in the Odin card, it's called the unknowable, but it is knowable. It's simply unknown. And we go, well, how do we know what we don't know until we know it? Well, Earthkeeper's talking about exploring, experiencing. And a lot of times, especially in modern society, what I've witnessed through people, what I hear them tell me, and what I have experienced of myself, is we try and get refined. We want to go into that state of becoming experts and exact, and we want these routines and things, and all of those are good things within a measure, right? But to be in the absolution of that this is my way or the highway and the only way and the thising and the thating, it narrows your focus, but it also limits so many other things in your experience, because they're talking about us being an organic experiencer. This isn't a flat earth here. This is a sphere, okay? This is a globe, that there's so much more to the fullness of your experience. And that fullness is the fulfillment. That's the luminous here. The back of the mind, if we look at the consciousness, it is the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious. So they're talking about turning it around. Well, luminous warrior, I see you turning it around. And that's talking about the rotation of a day, like the sun. Okay, so maybe this could be a big reason why it has floated on this way. They might have done a part 1 to the 11:11, but if not, they had me stop there. And it's talking about it actually begins at the close of sunset the night before. That's when the 24-hour cycle of a day is, not just the daylight portion. Now here we tend to live from the daylight portion of when we wake up. That's when the new day begins, but it isn't. There's so much that occurs in that dark space, in the preparation, that gets us ready. Like, you can't use a phone that isn't charged up. You can't drive a car that hasn't been filled with gas. They're talking about that is what sets us forward into this beautiful energy. He's talking about through the full cycle and movement of a day, we can process the rhythm of it like a symphony, like a full composition. Full composition. Okay, let's get into the fire. Let's get into the fire right here. What is at the bottom? Building blocks. All right, luminous warrior, the full composition of a day, and you're talking about the central focus, like the pupil of the eye, and like the back of the mind, the light box. Well, the light box makes it easy to trace. So some artists want to trace, to reproduce something. So it's almost like, and you could think, well, that's cheating, that's fake, they're not really an artist. But if you were the creator, this was you before you got here, touching the waters. I get you. I get you. Temperance. You're both. You're the spiritual you and you're the earth in you. That's what the luminous warrior is, the union of the two. Okay, let's take this out of my hands for a second. You put these two together, earth and water, and you get light. Because this is the spirit of earth. This is the breath of earth. This is the air. And this is the mind. It comes together as this. It's kind of like the photo. And then you can see yourself. And you can reflect on that. And you can refine through that. And you can, as he's saying, connect on that. You can begin to feel and intuit and to lean into what are you picking up on. They're talking about come to yourself instead of outside of yourself. Come to yourself instead of outside of yourself. Come into the truth of your knowing. Okay, so with that, let's get into this. Woo, they spilling off everywhere, turning topsy-turvy, talking about coming your way. This is an intuitive drawing, y'all. I don't know how I'm going to see you, but from behind, hello, I'm the luminous warrior. This must be the back of my mind. This is the picture that's coming on in, but it's talking about coming your way. We've been living life backwards is what luminous warrior is saying. And he's saying it's simply living it backwards is believing that when the sun comes up is the beginning of the day. It's like having our halves reversed. Imagine putting your left shoe on your right foot and your right shoe on your left foot and then walking all day in that. It's awkward. And that awkward leads to a misinformation. And she's talking about an inappropriate feedback. Something that doesn't look like your truth, your world at all. And look at that. See, there's the, okay. All creation begins in the dark. All right. Speak to the dark. Lift your heart to the dark. Give your cares to the dark. And that brings in a leg up, an advantage. It is like, which comes first, the acorn or the oak? Yes. The chicken or the egg? Yes. And they're talking about the appropriate cycles, all right? The maturity leading to the new, okay? The completed leading to the initiation. Is there anything else about that luminous warrior so we don't keep talking in this figurative speech? Can you bring it forward into the literal? I don't feel it coming from there. Let's see what these two were that you pulled out. Peace and commitment. So this is the way of peace. It is the way of wholeness. It is where it all begins. It says, begin at the beginning and watch it work out. Well, that's wild and wacky, isn't it? Woo, it's revolutionary. Begin at the beginning. But when you stop and think of how many times do you get eager for the night, get eager for retreating and resting and receiving, and then go and waking up excited and thrilled to activate and actuate and live out everything that you just took in from a place of wisdom, from a place of creatorship, of knowingness. And not just knowing up here, it's a knowing that comes out down here. Following what feels right, beginning with yourself, coming from the unknown into the knowable because you live it out. It says if there is this energy coming along with you, this gift of resonance coming in saying, yeah, that's it. That feels right. That's a great idea. Wow, I'm glad I thought of that. Whoa, that's beyond me. That's exciting, but I know it feels right. And you step into it. Authorship. I like this. It's you holding your own hand. It's a promise to yourself. And a promise that this one is saying, I plan to keep. I plan to keep. So the earth keeper, life's commitment, your whole self, your divine self, your future self is here for you. Reach out your hand. Reach out your hand by saying to yourself, when that sun sets and that last bit of burgundy fades and the twilight begins, that this is my new day. How would I like to invest myself? What would I like to see in my life? What would I like to feel and experience when the daylight comes? And it's not working and planning and preparing. It's simply adjusting the mind's eye, which way the lens is directed, okay? Hey, I'm going to meditate on this and listen back to it myself. And if I get any more revelation, I'll tune back in and keep fleshing these out further and further for you. I love that you tune in here and that we can grow together. I'm excited to have you. You could click that like button, help us rise to the top. Also, leave your fingerprint down below in the comments and tell us how you feel, what you think, anything you're picking up from this. This is a place and community where we share out of our love and abundance. Hey, I love you. Talk soon. Bye.